With more high-mileage cars on the road, it's important to keep them well maintained. Proper routine maintenance is key. We're here at Jiffy Lube with Chad Weisbeck, owner of 3 Jiffy Lube facilities and a franchisee with over 15 years experience, to take a look at an easy-to-follow basic maintenance plan for your car. It just makes good economic sense to keep your car working with maximum efficiency. So, Chad, could you give us some tips today as a starting point for what we can do to keep our car running in tip-top shape?
Of course. Let's go.
Great.
Get you some safety glasses here, Andrea.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks. So you could go to any Jiffy Lube or any qualified car care specialist to have your preventative maintenance done on a regular basis.
Okay.
That would include things like changing the engine oil and the oil filter. Would also include topping off all your fluids, inspecting belts or hoses, and also checking the tire pressure on your vehicle, along with inspecting your lights, your headlights and interior lights, but especially your brake lights, which you don't check very often.
No, I wouldn't think so. No. But, okay, oil. How do we know the right oil for our vehicle?
Great question. There's a couple of places you can check. You can check in your owner's manual here, okay, and it'll tell you the type, and look for the starburst on the oil bottles. And then you have your oil cap here, which shows the numbers right on the oil cap, tells you to see your owner's manual there. And those numbers, then you want to look on the oil bottles to find either that starburst symbol or these numbers here on the bottle.
Okay. Does W stand for weight, or what is that?
A lot of people think weight. It's actually winter. That's a great trivia question.
Did not know that. Okay.
The winter's put there to separate the viscosities. It's a multi-viscosity oil, so you have a lower number for startup. So it's thinner, so when it travels from the bottom of the engine to the top, it's quick and it protects the motor.
Right.
And then a higher number at operating temperature, so you have more protection when it gets warm.
Okay, great. And you mentioned fluid levels. What does that entail?
Well, you have different fluids other than, obviously, lifeblood, the engine oil. You have, over here, you start with your power steering. So you have a cap here to check, and you can look at it from the side to check the level. And then your washer fluid is here.
Very important, yes. I do know that one.
This is your radiator fluid, which you would call antifreeze in the winter and coolant in the summer. So you could take that cap off and check the level, or from the side.
Okay.
You have 2 color-coded dipsticks.
Oh,
so one for engine oil, the other one for transmission oil. So you can check your levels there. And then you have your brake fluid over here, which is a clear reservoir, so you can look at the side to make sure you're within range on your brake.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Okay, great. What else under the hood do we need to be looking for?
Well, you definitely want to check your engine air filter.
Okay.
So underneath the hood, you're going to find a box here like this, similar, it might be in different areas, but you're going to have screws or clips, so you're going to be able to remove this housing and locate the air filter. Now, I've got an example of a couple different filters, a dirty one here.
Yeah.
You know, and the air filter's like the lungs for your car, so it filters air, and you don't want dirty air going in the motor. You'd rather have something...
Right, much cleaner, better.
Yeah, clean air filter filters out dirty contaminants, so you have a clean engine, of course.
Okay, great.
Then you also have your wiper blades you want to inspect and clean on a regular basis and change them about every 6 months. Here's an example of a couple wiper blades here.
Oh, yeah.
You've got a torn wiper blade.
It's pretty beat up.
Yeah, it's pretty beat. It gets dry and brittle. And then a new wiper, the squeegee, is in much better condition, not dry.
And won't make that noise?
That chattering
horrible noise? Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that under the hood as well. So keep them changed about every 6 months is what the manufacturers tell you to do.
Great. So does that pretty much take care of under the hood?
It does take care of under the hood.
What about our tires? What do we need to
Definitely. We need to go check those. Let's go over there now.
Great.
All right, Andrea, I'll show you one of the things that people have a misconception about is where to get your tire pressure from. So if you look here on the tire, it'll give you just the maximum PSI.
Wait, what's PSI?
Well, that's your pounds per square inch.
Okay.
So it'll represent what your maximum PSI is on the tire, but not the optimum pressure for your vehicle. So you'll actually go in the manual or in the door of your vehicle here. You'll find a tire placard inside the vehicle here that reflects the proper pressure for your vehicle.
Great. Good to know.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I'm going to show you one other filter. We'll walk around the car and check that. Lastly, Andrea, I'm going to show a filter a lot of people don't know about. It's called the cabin air filter. And many times it's located behind the glove box. It might be in the cowl.
Okay. I did not know that was in there.
Yeah, and most people don't, because it actually filters air other than the engine air. It filters the cabin air. It filters the air going into the AC and heating system and coming from that. So you want to make sure that you're breathing clean air.
Great. While you're going down the road.
That's right.
So just by following all these tips, folks are really going to be set on the right course toward proper car maintenance.
Absolutely.
Great. Now, you mentioned, Chad, checking the oil. And we're here at Jiffy Lube, inventor of the famous drive-in oil change. How often do we need to think about doing this?
It's a great question. You want to make sure you change oil on a regular basis, obviously. This is important to your engine. But finding out where, you can look again in your owner's manual to find that information. But you also want to make sure you know what driving conditions you drive in. Normal conditions or severe conditions.
Okay.
And severe conditions, which would include things like stop-and-go traffic, driving in less than 5 minutes distance, also driving in hot and cold temperatures. Those are some severe. And then normal is more highway type, strictly highway, long-distance driving.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Right.
Okay.
Another thing you want to factor in is some cars now are equipped with oil life monitors or some type of service indicator light on your dash telling you when you should change
That
oil.
helps, definitely.
It does. For some people that rely on that, it's great. Otherwise, you can rely on your car care specialist to tell you.
They've been at it, what, 20, 30 years?
Actually, Jiffy Lube has just celebrated its 30-year anniversary this past year. So we're involved in a re-image, changing our design of our facility. Our logo has changed.
Right.
You know, we're actually the inventor of the drive-in oil change and things like the window clean sticker that you've seen. And we've been an innovator in preventative maintenance for the last 30 years.
That's great. And is there a website?
There is. You can go to www.jiffylube.com.
Easy enough.
Thank
you, Chad.
Thank you, Andrea.
Now, our viewers can also find out everything we talked about today by going to our website, designingspaces.tv, and link to the Jiffy Lube info from there. So remember, if you want to keep your car on the road a lot longer, go ahead and do that preventative maintenance today. For Designing Spaces, I'm Andrea Gannon.